The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on. I think he missed the complete. That is crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield before. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
Can't you just see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moonshine? Ain't it just like a friend of mine to hit me from behind? Well, the race stewards might have a problem with James Taylor's last line, but we have come to Carolina, more specifically, the Charlotte Motor Speedway, which tonight plays host to the We Stand United Racing League's Coca-Cola 250, the 13th event in this 36 race campaign, and all the stock car action will be carried live as it happens here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. In just under 15 minutes, the flag man will wave the green, unchaperoning a gathering of Gen 6 stock cars towards the 22-degree first turn for the first lap of this 166-lap party. So get your home theater system wired for the internet, fix up a pimento and cheese sandwich with a side of liver pudding, pop open a can of the sponsor beverage, and enjoy the 250 miles of simulated NASCAR excitement that will be streaming into your home. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another GSRC broadcast. I'm your host, Bill Soups on. Sean Ambrose is on assignment, so with me today is the best thing to hail from Australia since Midnight Oil, Richard Losper. Turning the knobs and pushing the sliders is a man who won the GSRC Lifetime Achievement Award twice, our director, Jason Fleischle, and at his disposal will be the visionary camera locations provided by the renowned Dougie Beard. Hey, if you were with us last week at Dover, you saw Trevor Borowski earn his second win of the season by holding off rookie sensation Ryan Doucette. Surprisingly, far down the finishing order were Jimmy Mullis and Blake Heather. And Brandon Cretion is starting to receive offers from Vegas casinos to work as a cooler because his string of bad luck continues when his misfortune stole another chance for a victory. Richard, tonight the drivers bring their luck, be it good, bad, or ladylike, to Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Indeed, and a very good day to all the viewers. We are at Charlotte Motor Speedway in Carolina, as you mentioned. We're racing at nighttime here. It should be nice and cool for the drivers. We have ourselves a 1.5 mile oval with the standard tri-oval configuration. This track is going to be very fast, and the pilots of these Gen 6 cars will be able to generate a lot of speed. Let's hope that the racing will be good. And indeed, let's hope that we see some nice clean racing with a minimum of yellow flags. But let's have a quick look at what a car does to negotiate this track. Jason?
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global Sim Racing Channel. I'm Brian Yazik. This is Kansas Speedway and this is the GSRC Chevrolet SS. Kansas is a very unique 1.5 mile.
Well, that was about a quarter of a lap around a short track somewhere, so we had the wrong video queued up. But pretty much, honestly, it's a 1.5 mile D-shaped oval. They don't call them cookie cutters for nothing here. So, but what is interesting, 22 degrees banking, Richard talked about it. Let's move right along to the, if you haven't seen Charlotte Motor Speedway, then you've been living under a rock. Let's go to the overlays here and talk about the point standings, okay? Now, we go here. We're going to look at the top 5 to start with. Despite being winless, Zach Woodett, his consistency keeps him at the top of the charts. And he's still ahead of Tad, the Lone Granger, and Finian, the Big Tacuna. They still hold station in second and third, a few points behind the leader. In the wake of his Dover win, Trevor Borowski jumps 2 spots into fourth. pushing Cordell Cologne down one spot, who rounds out the top 5. But now here's something we're going to look at now. We're going to move over to what we're going to call the race for the chase. Now, we're going to focus on the drivers that are at that 12th position down there. If you look at this close, you're going to see that your leader is Travis Henderson. He sits there in 12th, 16 points ahead of Robert Cartwright. Now, a pair of wins means nothing in this chase format to Jimmy Mullins, who's still on the outside looking in. Remember, what these guys want to do is get into the top 12 before the final 10 races, because then they have a chance at the championship. Richard, we took a short lap around some mystery track. We've talked about the points. Why don't we take a second and talk about some of the race-specific rules for this event tonight?
Certainly. Well, we mentioned that they are racing the Generation 6 car. That's the Toyota Camry, the Chevy, and of course the Ford as well. They are using a fixed setup tonight, it appears. Usually they have open setups, but I think that tonight it is a fixed setup. We have a race of 166 laps. That's roughly 250 miles. The Coca-Cola 250, it's called. The fuel is set to 50%, so that'll be interesting. There will be a number of pit stops required to finish this race. No fast repairs, as you said earlier, which means that if you break the car, you are stuck in pit lane until it is repaired. There is no incident cap. iRacing, of course, has an incident cap where if you reach that cap, you will be disqualified. No cap tonight for these guys. The weather is reasonable. We are looking at 67 degrees air temperature and 80 degrees on the track. So that's reasonably cool. That's about 23 degrees Celsius. So it should be an interesting race. Let's hope the guys can keep it clean. So far from what we've seen, Bill, in the practice session, let us hope they're not going to race this way.
It's a nice warm southern night in the Carolinas down there, but anybody who lives down south knows it's not the heat, it's the humidity. Okay, the drivers are out there qualifying right now, and it's no surprise. We're going to run down the entire grid in a minute, but it's no surprise to see James Mullins, the Mullins man. Do you know the Mullins man? Well, yeah, he lives on Victory Lane 4 times this season, and he's out in front. But remember, James has missed a couple races, and I'm watching him right now. And I'm looking at Dawson Brock that's out there qualifying. We have kind of a smaller field here today, Richard. Usually this grid fills up about 30 or so. It is a holiday in the States, and most of these drivers are U.S.-based, so it's a little smaller today. I expect it, though, with the smaller field and the night temperature, with the track not being so slick, we probably get some nice green flag runs today.
Well, let's hope that is the case. At the moment in qualifying, James Mullins is sitting at the top of the leaderboard. Jimmy Mullins is running second at the moment. A number of the guys, in fact more than half the field, have not put in a qualifying lap yet. So let's see. At the moment, the hot speed of James Mullins, who has just clocked a lap there of 26.767 seconds. That is reasonably fast around this track. So let's see if there's anyone that can challenge that time.
Don't be deceived by my partner's accent. He does have some experience in this car, don't you, Rich?
I do indeed. I did race the Generation 6 car for quite some time, but that was a little while ago. I believe there have been quite significant changes to the car, and I'm not familiar with it in its current form, but nonetheless, I will bring my previous experience to bear whilst calling this race.
My memory is, I'm getting older. I'm having a senior moment. It's killing me that I can't think of the name of the Australian driver who came up, raced in NASCAR for 3 or 4 seasons. Everybody watching this right now is yelling at me. You know, it's going to come to me. No, that's in IndyCar. It was the guy who came up, and everyone's yelling at me right now. It's going to come to me in the middle of the night. I'm going to wake up my wife and yell out the guy's name. Somebody send me a text, please. Okay, we're still waiting for qualifying to go on. One of the things I want to talk about here, we're going to talk about Brandon Creation. I want everyone to keep an eye on him. I mentioned about it earlier in the pre-race show. This guy always runs up to the front, but right now, not only is he not in the chase, he's not even close to the chase. And the format here, Richard, which is different from what NASCAR has, where if you win, you're in. Actually, here you have to finish inside the top 12, so it doesn't matter how many wins you get. So, Brandon, I'd like you to get a win, but you also started picking up and putting down those finishes for me. Here, Tad Granger going on.
I actually like that idea of, I mean, if you win a race, that automatically puts you in the chase. You can only have, 12 guys in the chase? So that's going to mean that if you have 12 different winners of races, and there are plenty of races to attempt to win. So I like this format a little better, where you've got to finish in the points in the top 12 to be in the chase. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's really good. And we see there's Philip. Marcos Ambrose. There it is. See, it comes to me. That's the name I wanted to think of. That's good. I got it now.
Marcos Ambrose, of course, who's now quit NASCAR racing and is back in Australia racing the V8 supercars once again.
Yeah, he was a phenom on the road courses. It was really interesting to see how really good a road course driver is in anything. He could do things on the road course. He could get that car woed up and turned like nobody in that. I mean, we're talking good drivers here too, but man, that was I hate to see him go. And he was a nice guy too. Very, very typical Australian.
Yes, I think he won all of the road races at Watkins Glen, excepting the last one. I think he came second in the last one.
Yeah, his claim to fame was when there was a fuel saving situation where they turn off their cars to save fuel. It was close to the end of the race. He turned it off going uphill, and the car didn't start, and he stalled it on the pace lap and cost him a win. That was sad. Okay, we're still waiting for all the drivers. We're getting close here to finishing up. Remember, this is the 13th event. Now, next week, this series goes to, let's see, where are they going next week? We're not going to be able to cover due to a scheduling conflict on GSRC. They're going to Pocono. That's too bad. The Tricky Triangle. These would be fun to be there. That's the 5-hour Energy 250. We're not going to be able to cover that. But, of course, GSRC is going to come back in 2 weeks for the Quicken 150 from Michigan, which is real similar here to, kind of similar to this track, another D-shaped 1.5 miles.
No, it's 2 miles at Michigan.
Michigan is 2 miles. That's right. Richard, didn't we just do a race from Michigan about
Yes, we
6
did,
hours
indeed.
ago? Richard has been up for about, many, many hours. He was up at 3 a.m. his time in Australia. Want to tell him a little bit about your day?
Yes, it started at 3 a.m. with a nice long draft of coffee. And then we got into 3 hours of racing in the Indy cars at Michigan. And then I went to work, and I came back from work, did a little bit of housekeeping, and here I am once again, sitting down to call this race, which I'm looking forward to. I think this should be an interesting race.
Just from the time we've come on air, your personality has chirped up considerably. You're much more pleasant than you were when we first started. We'll see how you do after an hour and a half. Drivers and viewers and everybody watching, I'm giving them my permission to be critical here today. So if he yells at you, remember he's had a long, long day. Still waiting here we have just about 30 seconds as we continue to fill. We talked about all the rules of this event, little shorter on the fuel tank, so I expect to have lots of green flag pit stops today. Richard, this series is notorious for following the rules. They've actually taken away 3 wins from drivers so far this season for punting or blending. So they have stewards. Everyone's going to have to be careful here today.
Yes, that's again. I feel that these guys have done it correctly, in that they are stringent and they have a good chase format and all of those sorts of things. But now, Bill, we are in fact the green flag has flown and they are starting to grid. So the pace car being out there, let's go through the field.
Here we go. We're going to run them down in sets of 10. We only have 21 names on the grid here today. And, of course, it is the Mullins man, James Mullins, 4 victories under his belt, sitting on the pole with a lap time of 26.7. Right outside of him, to confuse the announcer, is Jimmy Mullis. So it's, again, Mullins and Mullis sitting up front. Mr. Hard Luck Brandon Cretion in the 3rd position outside of row 2, Varun Varosky in 4th. The 3rd row is going to be made up of Tad the Lone Granger and Brad Hallen Wolf in 6th. 7th position goes to, let's see, oh, I'm sorry, it looks like Brad Walsh is in 6th. 7th is Hallen Wolf. Cordell Colon in 8th spot, currently 5th in the point standings. Ken Morin in 9th, and rounding out the top 10 is Blake Heather. Richard, what do you see at the back of the pack?
Well, then we have in 11th place Dawson Brock, and in 12th place Robert Cartwright, and 13th place is Travis Henderson. Now, these are the only cars that have set a lap time. The following drivers have not set any lap time at all, and those are in 14th place Ryan Doucette, in 15th place Zach Gaudet, in 16th place, Nick Parrott. 17th, Finian DeCuna. And in 18th place, Alex Skinner. 19th place, Dakota Bowman. 20th place, Matthew Chase. And last, but hopefully not least, is Chase Sutton in 21st place.
Waiting for the final car to come out there, and it was Zach Wadet. I had me a little worried there. Zach, always a good driver, and he has gridded. And now we see a few drivers wandering around the grid there. Car number 59 looking for a place to go. And now they're beginning to roll. Everybody getting back into line. Of course, Richard and I did a race at Michigan today that simulated the 1996 U.S. What I guess it was
US
called
500.
the U.S. 500, where they actually brought out a Solstice they had a manually driven pace car, and they lined them up in sets of 3. That little Solstice was screaming for everything it could to stay out in front of those Indy cars. But right now, we got the big boys, the big stock cars out there, the Chevys, the Toyotas out there right now, and, of course, the Fords. Up in front, keep an eye on that blue machine. That is always fast James Mullins in the blue number 5. Outside of him, it's Jimmy Mullis. In that look of the paint scheme on Mullis's car, a beautiful red, white, and blue patriotic waving of the flag there. Nice to see him celebrating Memorial Day.
And it's a beautiful sight from the rear of the field. From Chase Sutton's viewpoint, all he can see is a whole bunch of cars. Bill, the pace cars off, all yours.
The wave is... There we go, and the tide is cresting and diving into the lead.
And we have an accident. The number 4 car already in trouble, came together with another car. So let's have a replay of that. That is like our first caution.
Chase Sutton, we got a little bit Chase Sutton involved in it. Alex Skinner and Matthew Cisna. 3 cars that I see gathered up in it. Maybe also caught up in it, Nick Parrott. See if we can find that on the replay. Looks like Parrott in the number 3 car got together with the number 4 car of Chase Sutton, and yeah. It looks like Chase, maybe he thought he was clear, but Sutton looked like he just came into him.
Yeah, it's ugly incident. Yeah. The 27 car just boomeranged off the number 4 there. So they brought out the first caution, and we will have a few laps going around, and then we will have a restart of this race, which barely got to 250 meters before the caution.
Well, the good news is we talked about it. There is no fast repair. It's of course bad news for those drivers that were injured and their cars were damaged. Good news for us, as we've done a few races where fast repairs, they just keep bringing them out and they keep crashing. So now they're starting to line up again. Let's see how they're sitting up. They still have the top 2 cars up there in front. It's still Mullins and Mullis, although iRacing really won't let me know. I guess Mullins is on. They're considering him in first place it looks like he is going to decide to take the inside lane.
Well, it's really funny to see cars coming into the pits. They've done 250 meters. They've all come into the pits. They've changed tires and added fuel as if this were a real pit stop. So maybe they're just practicing their pit stops here, Bill.
Yeah, a lot of drivers coming in from the back here. It looks like drivers coming in. Cologne's coming in. Heather's coming in. Henderson, Guadet, DeCuna, Bauman, Skinner, Parrott, and Cisna are all coming in. One lap down Chase Sutton, and I believe he might have called it a day in the number 4 car.
Yeah, the 27 is also in there, pretty badly damaged, so we'll see if he decides to get repairs or not. But up front, it is James Mullins who will lead them away again on the restart. Remember, he did start the race. The accident happened right at the rear of the field, so most of the guys who started in front of those are okay. So James Mullins, Jimmy Muller still in there, Brandon Cretion, Tad Granger, Brad Walsh, and did you call him Howlin' Wolf?
Yeah, that's his nickname. That's what his friends call him there. Howlin' Wolf. Woo.
Well, these guys are out there at the moment. The pace car is... they're going down the back straight there, and the pace car lights are still on, so we will have at least another lap. And hopefully at this stage, after that, they'll get the 1 to go call. So let's have a look.
And what we're going to do, since this is so close to the beginning, we're just going to wipe that as if, like, if you've ever seen Men in Black, just pretend that you had that wiped from your memory. And we're just going to pretend that these first 4 laps actually didn't happen. We're going to start this race all over again. Lap number 5. We're going to pretend it's the opening lap here. That was a little practice lap. Everybody's still out there. So they're going to come around one more time, and then we're going to get this race underway for real this time.
Yes, and we should see a similar start to the previous one, because of course all the same guys are where they were on the start of the race. So let's have a look and see. The lights are off now, Bill, so we will definitely have a start. Jimmy Mullins will be in control of the field when they take off, as he was in the beginning of the race. So let's hope we have a little bit of a green flag run. If they don't, I will be cranky.
One thing I do love at night is the way that beautiful pace car glistens under the halogen lights that light up the track. Boy, that looks good. iRacing does a good job on that. Okay, they're going into turn 3 right now. And of course, in NASCAR, turn 3 and 4 is it's one big 180-degree turn, but they call it turn 3 going in, turn 4 coming out. They're lining up. Look for that pace car to pull in.
Well, Bill, you have a look at the front. I'll be looking from the rear. I see Nick Parrott is the last car on the track at the moment as they get ready for a start.
Okay, the swell is about to crest. Start paddling, Moondoggy, because this wave is about to break and the number 40 machine dives into the corner. And it is. Jimmy Mullins leads them away. James Mullins behind in the 5, looking to dive into the 18. It's Tad Granger in the 8 machine. Granger ducks into that 8. I misidentified it at 18. Granger moves into second ahead of Mullins. Mullins trying to do the over-under, and we're going to get lap number 5 completed. They start lap number 6, starting lap number 7.
Yes, and looking from the rear of the field, Nick Parrott decided to let everyone go, and he's just on his own at the moment at the rear of the field. In front of him, Alex Skinner. He looks a little racy at the moment, so let's see what he can do as they start to negotiate the end of lap 8 going into lap number 9.
The top 2 cars have broken away from the pack. The real excitement starts at 3rd position. And that is out there the number 02 machine of Brandon Cretion, trying to break his string of bad luck. He's always fast, but he's always unlucky. Running 3rd right now, being chased by the 15 machine of Joshua Wolf. The 81 behind him of Ken Morin. And now ducking to the inside, but falling back is that number 8 machine of Tad Granger. Granger was up there in front, but he's being pressured again. Apparently doesn't like what he's got going on. Look at that number 77 trying to make a run on him. That's the young rookie, Richard. Ryan Doucette. Keep an eye on that 77 machine. He can make that thing go. He started in 14th position. He's already up 7 spots.
I have got the camera on Ryan Doucette. I remember what you said at the beginning of the race. Number 77 machine, and he is looking good in that Chevy at the moment. He's being held up a little, I do believe, about the number 8 car. Now he manages to get past number 8. He's on the inside. The job's not quite done yet. Now it looks as if it's done. The number 8 car coming back at him, but he's going down the center lane. Number 8 on the outside, trying to get the position back. They go in side by side into turn number 3. Now he will hold tight onto the main line. That's turn 4. Now they start another lap, and he's looking good at this point in time.
Let's go back up to the front because we got a battle up here. Brandon Cretion got a little bit loose, lost a couple positions, got him back. We have a new driver in third right now. There's a slow car down underneath. Who is that? Oh, that's Alex Skinner, slow on the inside. Everyone seems to be negotiating him fine. But driver in third is Ken Morin out in front. Cretion has dropped back to fourth, and now look who's trying to battle with it. It's Brandon Cretion in that 77 machine. He's on the move.
Yeah, and driving along with the number 8 machine here, which is indeed Tad Granger. He was just overtaken
Yellow
by
flag.
the 77. Yellow flag is out once again.
Blake Heather. Blake Heather got loose in front of Finian Dacuna. Dacuna didn't touch him. Got loose, and we bring out the yellow. There you can see Heather right there. Finian got a good look at it.
And I'm also looking at the number 7 car, Bill. Number 7 car, which is, who is the number 7? Let's see. That is Blake Heather, and he has got some damage on that car. Have a look.
Yeah, that's the car that got loose right in front of Dacuna there. Beautiful paint. Oh, there we go. I can see a beautiful American paint scheme. Sorry, that one didn't. Trading Paints didn't load that one up. Oh, Trading Paints has crashed for our director. We'll see what we can do under one of these yellows, maybe. Why, in fact, right now, since we have a yellow flag right now, why don't we take a short break, and we'll be back before they go green. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's live as it happens coverage of the We Stand United. This is round 13 from Michigan. No, we're not in Michigan. From Charlotte. I've been doing too many of these. I feel like one of those guys in a rock band. Thank you, Detroit, and they're in Chicago. Okay, I know where we are. Let's get back down to business now. The lights are still on the pace car. They're going to go one more time around. We are currently working on lap number 15 of 166.
Yeah, that is correct. And it's Jimmy Mullis that leads the field at the moment. Ken Moran Jr. is now in second place. Pace lights are off on the pace car. Ryan Doucette has moved up to third place already. Bill, you said that this guy was a hot shoe, and he's certainly proving it at the moment. James Mullins has moved back to fourth place at the moment, and rounding out the top five is indeed Brandon Creason.
The good news is we were able to get the software that is called Trading Paints to load up so we can see some of those beautiful paint schemes, some very patriotic paint schemes that are out there now. Hopefully, those will stick with us for the rest of the broadcast. We're still under yellow right now. A lot of talking going on among the drivers, working out their strategy. Where are you going to go? How we're going to get this done? 18 cars still on the lead lap. 19 cars still out on the track. Matthew Cisna and Chase Sutton have retired. Coming around turn 4, waiting for the pace car to duck inside as we're going to have our second restart, our third start of the night. Keep an eye on the inside car. That's the 40 machine of Jimmy Mullis. Looks like it gets kind of a slow start, and the 81 is going to jump out in front. Ken Moran on the outside, trying to make that outside line work. Not going to happen. Moran stuck on the high side. Keep an eye now on the 77. That's our rookie hot shoe. That is your Brian Doucette on the inside. He's got 3 on the high side. Doucette all alone on the inside, getting no help for the rookie. They come around 2 by 2 for second and third. Meanwhile, the leader is Jimmy Mullins. Sorry, Jimmy Mullis.
Jimmy Mullis out in front. The 81 machine is trailing, but Ryan Doucette in third place had a good look there at the 81 machine. Decided to go up on the standard line. Now he falls into line behind the 81 machine. This is the 77 of Ryan Doucette. James Mullins is in fourth place. James Mullins slowing down. He's just lost a position there.
Okay, let's look at Joshua Wolf is in trouble.
And we have another caution flag out.
That's the 15 machine of Joshua Wolf. He got loose in front of the 88 of Brad Walsh. We're going to have that for you.
Yeah, just went back there to have a look at that. He certainly got loose, and all by himself too.
And we're hearing a lot of there's a lot of crankiness going on there between all the drivers. Telling everybody first of all to behave on the track, and then to behave on the microphone as well.
Seeing a message there from Brandon Creason saying, number 18, dude, chill.
That was from Brandon Creason to car number 18, which would have been, let's go ahead and put a name on that, Zach Gaudet.
Zach Gaudet.
Well, you got to be careful what you say over the mic, and you got to be careful what you type because the announcers are on it. All right, well, we are on, let's do a little checking of the notes here. This is caution flag number 3. We're going to do a favor. We're going to stay with you guys all the way through this yellow flag, and if we can have a little bit of a green flag run, we'll stick around for the next yellow flag as well. But if we get another one, Richard and I are going to go out. He's going to go out for a little walkabout. I'm going to go maybe
make a cup of tea.
Check the barbecue. Yeah, there we go. All right, pit stops are done, and coming out first, James Mullis. Let's see if he actually did come in for a stop or if he stayed out. Looks like he stayed out.
And I see that the administrator has, in fact, cut off Brandon Creason's chat ability, so Brandon can't say anymore.
It's gonna be a long night for Brandon if he doesn't get to talk to anybody. Okay. Let's settle down now, boys. Let's settle down, announcers, the directors. We're all getting our act together here. We are in lap 21 of 166, and we're going to be able to put it in. We're going to be able to get a long green flag run in right now. The weather is good. They should have decent traction out there. No need to fight for positions right now. You still have, my goodness, 140 laps to get this thing settled.
And Bill, Brandon Cretion is way back at the moment. Got a little dent in the rear, which is probably what he's cranky about, because he got hit in the rear. And he's fallen back now. He is currently in 11th position. And that enables him to have a good look at the guys in front of him. Jimmy Mullis leading with Ken Moran in second place. James Mullins has moved into third place now, and Zach Gaudet in fourth place. Our hot shoe number 77, Ryan Doucette, is down in seventh place at this point. So when they restart, let's see if these guys can keep it clean firstly, and if we can get down to some good racing.
Our director doing a nice job of getting a little showroom tour through the field there of all those pretty patriotic paint schemes we have going on today. Our director's happy with M&Ms out there.
Bill, this is a beautiful track, isn't it? I mean, at nighttime with everything lit up by the halogen lights there, it really looks pretty.
Well, that's nice of you to compliment one of our U.S. tracks. This is in contrast to what Richard has to say about Laguna Seca. Richard says, plant some shrubbery is what he says about Laguna Seca.
Barren. Barren is the word that comes to mind.
This from a man who lives in a country that's like 80% desert. Okay, are the lights off the pace car? I believe they are. So we're going to do this one more time. It's the number 40 machine on the inside. Jimmy Mullis. On the outside, Ken Moore. These are the same two guys who took it to the green last time. Let's see if it works the same this time. Mullis gets a nice job on that inside lane. It's going to dive down into the first corner very comfortably. Everybody behaving now as they go around. Everybody make a little room for everybody. Let's, in the words of Martin Luther King, actually that's the wrong King. Can't we all just get along? I think it's Rodney King actually said that one. I apologize to all the historians out there. And I'm going to start being more serious now. Out in front, it is Jimmy Mullis. Spinning is the 50 machine of Cordell Cologne.
And we have yet another yellow flag.
It was the car in front of him. I think it was it Heather that maybe got into Cologne? Let's look and see. That's it. Yep, he got it. Actually, Gaudet in the 18 machine, I think he tried to stay off of him is what I actually think happened. And the 50 trying to stay off of Gaudet, got loose, turned it around. On board now, riding with Cologne. And there you see him. He gets that just a little bit of a tap in Gaudet, and he turns it around. Probably didn't hurt the car too much. All right, Richard's going to make that cup of tea. I'm going to go check on the barbecue. We'd like all of you guys that are watching online, come back real soon. We'll be back here before they go green. Take a short break. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of the We Stand United Round 13 from Charlotte. We are currently working, I believe, our fourth caution flag right now as they are on lap 27. We will be going green for lap 28. Your leader for most of the race has been James Mullins is out in front. On the outside of him is Travis Henderson in the 24 machine in that DuPont paint scheme. Henderson trying to get a nice points night tonight to move up. He's in that cutoff position for the chase. All right, we're getting a lot of cheerleading from the drivers. Come on, they're saying, let's get a nice green flag run in. Everyone is agreement. That beautiful chrome gold colored Mustang pulls off and leading them across the start-finish line to start lap 28 is the number 5 of James Mullins. On the outside, it's the 24 of Travis Henderson. Mullins and Henderson side by side, sliding up into the middle of the field. That's Granger. Tucking underneath is the 40 machine now of Jimmy Mullis. Mullis making a move into third. Granger stuck on the high side. 2 by 2 behind him, the number 7 car of Blake Heather and Zach Woodette.
And looking from the rear of the field here with Alex Skinner, this looks a lot better at the moment as they go down into turn 3. Now we see them up front there, chasing along nicely. And from the rear of the field, all nice single file. This looks a lot better, Bill.
Top 6 cars pretty much is tucked into single file, but I'll be darned if they're not racing darn close to each other right now. Let's go up to third position. It is the 40 machine making a move on the outside as if there is no tomorrow. That's Jimmy Mullis. Mullis on the high side, trying to get a run on Henderson. Henderson on the low side in the 24. Boy, they're way too close for my liking. Looks like they're going to keep it together, and now Mullis moves into second. Henderson fights back real hard as if the checkered flag was around this corner, but now they get it tucked in 1, 2, 3, 4 in the single file on lap 31.
And having a look at the mid-pack here, the number 77, which is, of course, is Ryan Doucette. He is in a little battle there with the car in front of him, which is Cordell Cole, and he touches him. No harm, no foul for that one. But it was pretty close there as everybody streams past Cordell Colon at the moment. And but he's out there and still racing. He managed to gather the car up again and falls back, but certainly had a good save there.
Great save. I don't want to put the demerit on Ryan Doucette. Don't know if the 77 got into him or not. Might have just got him a little bit loose, but boy, Cologne did a great job of keeping that car going forward as they work lap 32. And now I think the drivers might be getting into a bit of a rhythm.
Yes, it certainly seems that way at the front now. Going to the front, we can see that we've got Mullis in front and Mullins just behind him. Travis Henderson, who we haven't mentioned yet, he is now in third place in the 24 machine. Then we have Tad Granger, the organizer of this series. He is in the number 8 machine and he is in fourth place, and rounding out the top 5, Zach Gaudet, and they are racing very nicely at this point in time.
Maybe it's not making the fans happy, but it's making the spouses of the GSRC staff happy as it's single file all the way from front to back. And as I mentioned that, we have 2 by 2 now. Take a look at the 81 machine of Ken Moore, and he's inside of Doucette. Doucette always seems to be finding himself in the thick of the action, and Moore now on the inside gets another position, making that inside line work. He gets around the number 7 machine of Blake Heather.
And it looks as if the number 18 car it is of Zach Gaudet. Zach is looking a little bit pacey and wanting, and here's the 81 car coming out of nowhere. They're all ganging up on the number 24, which is the 24 car is Travis Henderson. They want to get past him. He is holding them back, they feel. The 81 car on the outside now of Henderson. Can he make a move on the outside? He seems to be able to do that. He stays on the high line. The 24 fights back and goes up high now. He ducks in To the inside does the 81 and tries to get the move down there. Meanwhile, just behind them, we still have
Henderson in the wall.
Henderson.
But he's
Henderson
okay. He keeps it going.
He does keep it going, and that was a good save there as well. People passing him now as he is in all kinds of trouble at the moment, and he's getting loose once again. And now he gets tapped by another car, goes into the wall up high, the 24 car. Damage now for the 24 car.
He kept the car going straight, but boy, he got into about half the field trying to save that thing. Varun Borowski in the 10 machine almost got into him. Henderson's car is damaged. He's going to have to bring that into the pits. What he was trying to do for the long time when he was in front of that group, he was trying to play both sides of the street. Work the high side, work the low side, work the high side, work the low side. They finally got underneath him, and he didn't like the high side. He banged it off the wall, lost a whole bunch of momentum. I think scraped it up. That may be the end of his day, at least for any hopes of winning this thing. Meanwhile, out in front is still Jimmy Mullis and Jimmy Mullins.
And behind them, there's a trio of cars, led by Tad Granger, then Ken Moran and Ryan Doucette. Now, these guys can settle in and do some real racing. And behind them, in fact, there's another car, Zach Gaudet. As I said, Zach Gaudet is looking pretty pacey. He now makes a move there on the number 77, passes him, and has his eyes set now on Ken Moran and Tad Granger. Let's see what he can do as these two guys are battling with each other side by side, and he is coming from the rear and trying to make it happen. They side by side, the number 8 and the 81. That's nothing unusual for this track. This track is wide enough to accommodate that, but the way these guys have been racing, as we see the number 8 tapping the wall there on the high side, and he has to slow down. That should give the number Zach Gaudet, the number 18, a chance to pass him, which he does. And now Zach Gaudet will have his eyes on Kevin Moran, who is currently in 3rd place.
Granger got himself a little Charlotte stripe there. I don't think they call that, but that's what he did. Got a little bit loose. Keep in mind that 18 machine of Zach Gaudet, that is your points leader. Still winless so far through 13 events. Yet to have a win. But he's on the top of the points. That this goes to show you what type of driver he is. He's able to bring that car home.
Yes, he is. And he's driving well. He's very aggressive. Doesn't take any prisoners, but certainly he's now being up to 4th place already in this race and working lap number 42. Still a very long way to go. A lot of pit stops to happen, maybe a few more yellow flags, but this is the longest green flag run I believe we've had so far, Bill.
Just to follow up on Travis Henderson, that was the 24 machine that you saw get in the wall and then glance off a few of the cars. He remains in the pits. Not sure if his day is done or not.
Now we have a battle here between the number 10 and the number 7. That's Trevor Vavrovsky, Vavrovsky, and the number 7, who is Blake Heather. These two guys going at it side by side at the moment. Currently in the lead of the two is the number 10 car.
Let's look at
ahead, Bill.
The number 68 machine of Robert Cartwright.
And the yellow flag is out.
Robert Cartwright got loose. No, actually, it wasn't Cartwright. Cartwright was involved in it. What happened was the number 9 machine of Finian DeCuna got loose. Finian DeCuna got loose in front of Cartwright, and the two collected each other.
Yeah, number 9 smoking pretty badly now. He'll be headed for pit lane.
Oh, Ponderosa Cartwright had nowhere to go in the 68. You can see the number 9 smoking right now. That might be the end of his day. Usually when they smoke, those are hard to repair. Now, we're on board with Cartwright right now. Look at this. He has nowhere to go. That's DeCuna on the high side. Nobody with him. There's no reason why. I mean, I can see Cartwright would be surprised and all of a sudden the avalanche hits and you're buried in the snow.
And the cars are now forming up once again behind the pace car. Pace car's out there. Beautiful pace car. I think, Bill, if it carries on like this, the pace car might win this race.
It's a good chance. Okay, they're coming in right now. We'll stay with this and see how they cycle out. We'll see if anybody decides to stay out. Looks like everybody's coming in. Who's anybody?
They're all in. 2 guys stayed out. Brandon Cretion is still on track there, and Joshua Wolf with a very damaged car. He is still out there, but the rest of them are all in to grab some tires and fuel once again.
Wolf stays out to probably get the wave around. He's 3 laps down, and it looks like getting the wave around, maybe the lucky dog position might be going to Brandon Cretion. He got to pass the pace car. So we'll see if Brandon can get that lap back in the O2 machine.
Yeah, just
Meanwhile,
looking at him. Go ahead, Bill, sorry.
the first car out of the pits is, first in, first out. It is Jimmy Mullis and James Mullins. Well, why don't we take a second? There'll be a few more laps. Why don't we go for one more break? I'll see if I can come up with a few more items to fill about for the next couple yellow flags, and we'll be back shortly. In Switzerland, it is illegal to own a single guinea pig because they are prone to loneliness. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's Live As It Happens coverage of the We Stand United Round 13 event from Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're currently working, I think yellow flag number 5 on lap number 48 of 166. Your leader is Jimmy Mullis in the number 40 machine. On the outside, James Mullins in the 5. They're going to be coming to green here again. 14 cars still on the lead lap. Robert Cartwright, 2 laps down, is in the lucky dog position. That beautiful gold Mustang glistening under the halogen lights of the Charlotte Motor Speedway pulls in. And the number 40, the beautiful patriotic paint scheme of Jimmy Mullis, leads them across the start-finish line. Double file. A little bump behind from Mullins, from Doucette on the outside, 2 back.
And the number 88 car of Brad Walsh, Bill, went through the pits. He will be black flagged for that, and will have to enter the pits legitimately this time to serve a black flag. But I'm not quite sure what happened there. He just went straight through the pits on the restart.
They start to single file their way through now. Mullis out in front. Morin has moved his way up into the second position in that 81 machine. Zach Wadet again having another steady, stable race in the 18. Looking to the inside right now, just taking a peek in that number 5 is James Mullins. Oh, and Wadet squeezes him down. Woo, they managed to work it out. I can't fault Gaudet. He's able to bring that car home. Oh, Tad Granger has gone through the infield, had a little
Excursion.
He takes it down to pit lane, and he's got it back on the track. I might think there might be a black flag coming for that one.
Oh, for sure. Well, let's have a look now at the scene that we have here. We're on lap number 51, so we're about getting towards a third of the way through this race at the moment, and Jimmy Mullis is leading this race. Kevin Moran is in second place. Zach Gaudet in third. James Mullins in fourth. And rounding out the top five is Ryan Doucette. These guys have been the ones who have been up or near the front all day so far. Bill. And then Trevor Vavrosky, Blake Heather, Cordell Colon, and Brandon Creechan is in 8th place now, just moved up a spot there. Dakota Bowman in 9th, and Cordell Colon has moved back to 10th place now.
And what sent Tad Granger through the alfalfa there was a little side-by-side contact with Ryan Doucette. Yellow flag is out again. Look for the number 3 machine of Nick Parrott. He barrel rolls.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at that now.
He got loose, and then the 88 of Brad Walsh just T-boned him. Watch that 3.
And I think that I was counting. I couldn't count quick enough. I think he rolled the car at least 5 times.
Now here's the car getting loose. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000. Oh, full speed. Maybe he didn't see him, but seems like you can get that car woed up a little bit. I'm not behind the wheel. We're going to go on board with the 88. We're on board. We're going to go on board with Parrott. Then we'll go on board with the 88. Okay, here comes Parrott. And this is where he's saying, okay, looks like everyone's by me. Oop. Hope he had a light lunch. Let's try it one more time. Director, I need to stay in my lane, but let's see if we can do it on the 88. Here we go now. Richard, let's see if he should see this coming. Maybe not. Came up on me fast, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Okay, what we're gonna do now, we're gonna try this one more time. We're gonna take another short break. I'm gonna see if I can come up with some more Snapple caps to read when I come back, and then we'll hopefully get some long green flag racing. Back in a second. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing's coverage of the We Stand United, round 13 from Charlotte. 9 cars on the lead lap here as we work, I believe, caution flag number 6, currently on lap 57 of 166. Your leader
Bill?
is Ken Morin. Yes, go ahead, Rich. Oh, wait a minute, we're going to go green here, so.
Okay, go ahead.
Pace car is in. Ken Morin leads them to the start-finish line, brings them up really slow. Let's get it going, Ken. There he gets it going. Morin on the inside, the 40 machine of Mullis on the outside. They go 2 by 2. Everybody getting it around. The 50 machine, it's nice to see him running up there. Cordell Colon back up in front after having some problems early, running in third, the 59 machine. Dakota Bowman, haven't heard much from him, running in fourth. Couple new names making their way up to the top.
And Tad Granger making a move there on Dakota Bowman. He is still in the race and he's moving into 4th place. The number 77 of Ryan Doucette now moves up on Dakota Bowman as well, trying to take that position from him, not managing to get it done at this point in time. But Bill, the big news is that James Mullins, one of the drivers who's been very consistent in the series so far, he's called it a day and we can't find a reason for it.
Yeah, we can make assumptions, but we don't want to do that. What we can tell you is the facts. The yellow flag came out. He was about 100 yards in front of pit entry. He pulled it into pit entry, didn't even go to his pit box, parked it, and then the car left. So you can draw your own conclusions as well as that, but he came in on the sixth yellow flag in 60 laps. Might have had something to do with it.
Very possible, very possible. And of course, the attrition rate now is Brad Walsh out, Matthew Sisner out, James Mullins out, Chase Sutton out, Finian DeCuna out, and Brandon Christian out. A couple of big names in there as well who are out, Bill.
And so what we'll do is we'll run down the 9 cars. Maybe our director, we'll do a little through the field here, director. I think we're going to get a nice green flag run. So let's see, we got 9 cars on the front. Ken Morin out in front in the number 81 machine. Right behind him, it's Jimmy Mullis. We'll go through this kind of slow. No reason to hurry. Also let my software catch up. 3rd position, Cordell Colon being challenged there by the number 8 machine of Tad Granger. Drop back again. We haven't seen much from him in a while. Ryan Doucette, he's been busy but quiet here of late, running in 5th, and that's 77 machine. The Oriole machine on my screen, Goodrich Oriole. Little battle for 6th position between Varun Borowski there in Bobrovsky in 6th position. And then the always steady number 18, Zach Gaudet. And Gaudet actually making a move. Let's stay on this for a minute and see how this comes out. Gaudet goes to the inside. Rossi's going to surrender that position on the outside. Nope. Borowski with a little drive off the corner makes that outside lane work. They go down into 3, haven't got it sorted out yet. And Gaudet tucks back in. He'll try it again maybe next lap. Let's drop back another spot. Dakota Bowman, very quiet race from him in that 59 machine. Loudmouth machine, it says on the hood.
And last but not least, let me jump in here, Bill, is the number 20 machine of Alex Skinner. Now, I've seen Alex Skinner in races, in other oval races. He is a good driver. And I think he has stayed in the rear of the field purposely to just avoid all drama. And I've got a feeling that we will see at the end of this race that Alex Skinner will be right up there near the front of this race. Currently, he is the last car on the lead lap. Everyone else behind him is at least 4 laps down. So let's see how this develops.
One thing's for certain, I don't think he has to worry about overheating because on my screen, it looks like he's lost the entire front end of the car. And so I believe that radiator's getting lots of air. He's no longer racing the Snickers car, he's racing the Knickers car because the S has been torn away. So it's gone from a candy bar to some type of British underwear. Maybe you
But
get paid twice
he
for that.
is still circulating, and I think that in this particular race, which is 67 laps old, and we've had about 7 yellow flags, it's survival. I think it's a survival situation that we have here, Bill.
Yep, so we've ran through all the cars on the lead lap now, as we have just under 100 laps. We're working lap 68, so this is good. We may see a green flag pit stop here pretty soon. Why don't we look for the car that's in the lucky dog position? And as silly as this sounds, it's Joshua Wolf. He is 4 laps down, and you would think that would be almost impossible, but the way the yellow flags have been coming, he'll be able to pick up those laps in no time. He might get back on the lead lap here before the evening is done, running in the 15th spot.
And his car looks pretty second-hand, the number 15 machine there of Joshua Wolf. But he's still circulating, and as we said, we're in a survival race here. For a while there, I hate to be this critical, but for a while I thought we were in a demolition derby. But it seems that we are actually in a race. 9 cars, 10 cars now actually still racing. And hopefully at this point in time, as we saw with the IndyCar race, Bill, it started to settle down and we got a long green flag run.
Hey, let's go up front. You want to talk about a little excitement? Let's go have a nice battle up here in front between a couple M's. Mullis and Morin. Mullis out in front of that 40 machine. Morin behind him in the... What number is he driving there? Is it the 81? Is the 18 machine? Nope, no, it's the 81 machine. Sorry.
What are you standing on your head? Are you standing on your head, Bill?
Well,
that you saw 18 instead of 81?
It's 18 on the back straight. It's 81 on the front straight. Depends on which way you're looking at it there.
Well, this is some good racing happening here at the moment. Very nice, very clean, and the 81 machine sort of looks as if he's catching Jimmy Mullis at times, but then Jimmy Mullis pulls away again, particularly along this track section just here where we are now. Up ahead, there's a slower car, which is Blake Heather. He's down in 12th position, so there's another driver that's come back out and is racing still. So let us see what happens when the leaders catch up to him. That will be them actually lapping a car on the track for the very first time.
And I believe Heather is the last car running right now, 16 laps down, but still mid-pack, a mid-packer in 12th position.
That is correct. That is correct. And Jimmy Mullis now looks very comfortable in the car. My color, we don't have trading paints, but I am seeing a red car. Is that correct?
For Mullis, yes, we got that.
All right. So let's set the scene. Bill, 74, what? You've gone through the race for each car, and you're trying to say something. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. You got it.
So now we see Jimmy Mullis got red, he's got blue on the car, and he's got Torque Racing on the rear of his car. So that is what we're looking at. This is our leader. Then Ryan Doucette now has, hang on, what happened to Ken Morin?
Morin's still running, running in second.
Yes, Ken Morin running in second in the 81 machine. Third place, Ryan Doucette. Now we can see why Ryan Doucette has got most of the points and won most of the races. I think he's the best survivor, Bill.
Doucette's very good, a rookie coming in here. And for anyone in the sound of my voice, if you want to jump into this race on iRacing, here's the deal. You jump in. If you can actually run, let's see, they're on lap 76. If you can run 56 laps without crashing, you could find yourself in 13th position, because that's where Brandon Cretion sits right now. He's in 13th, the last car. He's the best car that is out of the race.
And Cordell Colon in 4th place. He's a ways back. There's a lot of space between the cars, excepting positions 1 and 2, Bill. So this is looking hopeful that we will get a long green flag stint. Although here comes Zach Gaudet. Zach Gaudet, pretty aggressive driver. He's coming up on Cordell Colon, gives up the position without a fight at this stage. possibly realizing that he wants to stay here to the end of this race. So now Cordell Colon falls back into 5th place. And that's not a bad place to be. Then in 6th place, we've got a car that looks pretty clean from the rear at least, Bill. And that is Trevor Vavroski. I believe you called him Vroom Vavroski. Is that correct?
That's it. That's what his mom nicknamed her. That's his actual middle name. And we have Granger coming into the pits right now. So this is our first green flag pit stop. Vavroski also coming in. Yeah.
Yeah, just about to say Vavroski, which tongue-ties me just a little bit, as coming to pits as well. As others stay out and keep circulating. They've got 50% fuel in this car, so if my memory serves me correctly, they can carry about 28 gallons of fuel in that, so it's about 14 gallons at a time, I believe.
Richard, don't worry about mispronouncing the name. My lawyer has made GSRC to stop fining the announcers because I wasn't making any money, so feel free to mispronounce them. You're not going to be penalized for that. Hey, you know what? Somebody who heard my call to come back out and race, let's look at the number 83 machine. Dawson Brock, currently running in 19th position. Yes, he's 46 laps down, but there's a lot of positions to be made up. Great job, Dawson. Your car looks like it's been through a blender. But keep it going. It's running straight. Looks like we have pit stops now, so we better start paying attention to what's going on. Mullis has stayed out. Doucette has come in. Wadette is in.
Yep, Morin in as well. And still a couple of guys sitting in the pits for an awfully long time. Nick Parrott, he's been in there for a very long time. Robert Cartwright just come in. Dawson Brock is another one. He's been sitting in there. Get this, 2,000 seconds. How many minutes is that?
Well, the good news is Dawson brought it back out on the track, ran a few laps, and now he's coming in for a scheduled pit stop, I think. Okay, the leader has come in. What we want to do, we'll see if we can pick up Morin. I believe he's probably going to be the guy that... And now if we're... Right, now there's Morin. Was that for the lead? I believe it. Nope.
Jimmy Mullis still leading the race according to our timing and scoring. Ryan Doucette now in second place.
And Doucette, there we go. Mullis came right up back. Here comes Doucette right behind him. Had a good run. Maybe. Yeah, made up some nice time on the pit stop there. Now we have a battle 1-2. The guy who lost out, I thought Morin was running up with those guys, but he's about a half lap back. I want to make sure my notes are wrong. Yeah, Morin, before the pit stop, Morin was running in second position. He's well back now.
That is correct. I was just about to say, he went into the pits in second position. He's come out in ninth position. Last car on the lead lap for Morin at this point in time. Tad Granger also gets an award for hanging in there, Bill. He has moved up to fourth position again, or has been around that position. Virtually all race long, he's had a good
Let's
run.
Go to the 50 machine of Cologne. He lost it about 5 times, and Granger just flew by him. Cologne has had a couple great saves. Maybe we'll want to get that on replay, Director. It just happened. Look at the 50 here. We're going to see if we get Cordell Cologne. You'll see him get loose, saves it, get loose, and saves it. Here we go. I think it might have been coming up, probably maybe, let's see, probably on the back straight, I believe. Here you go. You can see the car get loose, and then he gathers it back up, and then it gets loose again, and he gathers it back up, and there goes Granger.
Haven't seen that on the replay just yet. And back to live we go now, and let's see what is happening, if anything at all. Ryan Doucette is stalking Jimmy Mullis at this point in time, and he's very close at this point. There's a gap of about a quarter of a second between these two, but it seems as if Ryan is content to just follow at this point in time. Lap number 87, so the laps are slowly winding down, Bill. So we've got about 80 laps still to go. So halfway point.
And right now, I know a lot of times you say, why don't you show the rest of the drivers, not just the leaders? Well, right now, your best battle on the track is right here between Mullis and Doucette.
Yeah, I'm going back through the field, looking for the drivers, and starting from right at the rear, we have a possible battle that might develop with the 81 car of Ken Morin coming up on a slower car there, Alex Skinner. So certainly this will develop into a battle. Alex Skinner is the car with the pantyhose. What was that you said?
Snickers, and now it's Knickers.
Okay.
He lost the S.
I knew there was some sort of female apparel involved there, but I wasn't quite sure what it was.
I don't believe knickers are necessarily exclusive for females. I believe that could. It's a unisex device.
I was going to say that Ken Morin just touched the wall there. Doesn't look as if he's got any damage from that. Now he is up with Alex Skinner, and he should be able to make the pass fairly comfortably. But Alex Skinner hugs the inside line at this point, not making it easy for Ken Morin to make the pass. Now Ken Morin dives to the inside and passes that car that looks terribly, terribly second-hand.
Let's go to fourth position real quick. We have a pass for a position. That's Cologne.
Bill, this is happening right here. And now it's done, so go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, but you were on it. Sorry about that. As Cologne drops back Cologne drops back into now fifth spot, and Zach Wadet moves up into fourth. And a little thank you there from Mullis as he goes around the car.
Yeah, it's lap traffic. Now that 24 car is indeed the 24 is Travis Henderson being passed there. And so the 40 machine of Jimmy Mullis, who is our leader at this point, he is passing all these cars. Up ahead of him there is Ken Morin. And Ken Morin is the last car on the lead lap. So if he passes and puts a lap on Ken Morin, that will be him genuinely lapping one of the cars still running on the lead lap.
Very quickly, Director, let's go to car number 83 in 18th position, Dawson Brock. We're going to stay on him for just a second. He has passed Finian DeCuna and has now moved up into 18th position. Okay, that's your Dawson Brock update. Back to the leaders.
Well, we're having a look here at the 77 now. He's the car that is following Jimmy Mullis. And Mullis is in first place, so this is second place we're looking at in the 77 machine. He's not made an impression on Mullis. At one stage, he was fairly close, but then Mullis, since then, has opened the gap from a quarter of a second to slightly more than half a second, and Ryan Doucette just hit the wall, and that was a pretty hard tap there, so that'll give him some damage, possible steering damage there as well, Bill.
A nice tap. Looked like he was going into it. He tried to straighten it out. He put the rear end in first. Okay, let's go to third. Oh, here we go. And look at this of the 18 machine going around. Wadet on the move now. Oh, but coming back. The Lone Granger fighting back. Hi-ho, Silver! But no, the 18 machine is going to get it. Wadet closes that deal as Granger drops back a little bit. Now keep in mind, with Doucette going into the wall ahead of these guys, I imagine Doucette might be falling back. We'll keep an eye on that interval.
Oh, and we have a yellow flag out. What on earth is that for?
The 59 machine, it looks like Dakota Bowman. All by himself. Car just drifts up into the wall, drifts down into the inside wall, and then stops on the track.
Yeah, that's he hits the wall pretty hard there. Then he hits the wall on the left side. Then he drifts back up the track again, gets the car slowed down, and then slowly makes his way back to the pit. So possibly his day is done as well.
Scared a couple drivers there as they went by him. Saw him drifting up. That was the 7 machine and the 10 machine. Borowski in that mix as well. My goodness. Blake
Well, the
Heather
pace
as well.
car is out on the track at the moment. It's just past the leaders. Has he passed the leaders? Let's have a look. Yes, Jimmy Mullis. Jimmy Mullis is our leader. Pace car is just past him, and so they fall in behind. Second place car is now. He's not the second place car on the track. He is, in fact, that's Ryan Doucette, but they are all going into pit so that, and there's a little fake from Ken Morin. He stays out, and now he will be in front of them.
Morin's a lap down, so he's going to stay out and get the wave around and get back on the lead lap. In fact, there he goes right now. Oh, what happened was poor Morin. Remember, we saw him and he was running the last car. He was in 9th place, last car on the lead lap. Well, when he got lapped, then he got the lucky dog, which is bad news for poor Joshua Wolf, who was hoping to get that lucky dog, still sitting 4 laps down.
Yeah, that's right. And now, of course, Ken Morin, even though he's almost a lap back, he certainly is on the lead lap still, but he's hanging on by a thread there. And
Morin,
remember, in the last... Go ahead.
Morin right now is complaining he would like his lucky dog right now, but I don't think they give you that until the end. I don't think you get that now.
When the lights go out, that's when they wave you by.
Yeah, he's got to wait. Otherwise, he can come around and take a pit stop. So they want him back there. They'll wave you around when it's time, but you don't get to come around now because then you could pull in and get behind.
Yeah, when it's 1 to go, that's when the wave round happens, and they give you the lucky dog. So he has to stay out there, and of course that doesn't make him happy, but that's the rule.
Yeah, well, his argument is this is not a wave around. His argument, I'm coming over the mic right. His argument is I'm the lucky dog, and the lucky dog gets done early, and then the wave arounds are later. So that's iRacing controls it, and the series officials are saying, it's iRacing's deal. You just that's the breaks, and that's a good rule. Otherwise, you'll spend your entire life trying to sort things out when iRacing makes a mistake. We are going to stay here, though. We're not going to yellow on this yellow flag. We're not taking a yellow. We're staying green. The announcers are to cover this because we only have 65 more laps to go. This is going to be over quick, and pit stops and everything's going to play a big factor here. Yeah, let's go ahead and run these down now. Now, we're assuming here that James Mullis, if this works out the way that we think it is, right now he's second in line behind the pace car, the number 40 machine. He's your leader. Zach Wadet in the 18 is going to be in second. Granger in third, and Cordell Colon in fourth. My goodness, that 50 machine has been through a war, and he's got it up there inside the top 5. Mr. Excitement, Ryan Doucette in 5th position. Trevor Varun-Borowski in 6th. Alex Skinner running in 7th, and then the last car on the lead lap, Ken Morin, and now he gets his lap, now he gets his wave around, and there he goes.
Well, and it's 1.5 miles there, only 7 or 8 cars in front of him. He'll be able to catch up to the pack before they get onto the next restart. So there's really nothing to complain about in this situation.
And now it's news on the one again, so let's go to car number 83, Dawson Brock, for your Dawson Brock update. He has now made it around James Mullins, who was 46 laps down, and Brad Walsh. So Dawson Brock now up to 15th position. And we have him actually in 4th. Actually, he may actually be in 13th position now, as I think he's passed a few. Dawson on the march.
Well, you know what, Bill? It has paid off for some of these drivers who stayed in the session, got their repairs done, and they are back out there and circulating. Sure, they may be 46 and 45 laps down, but the position counts, and that's where the points come from.
Pace car is in. We are on lap 100. When they cross the start-finish line right now, it will be lap 101.65 to go. One more pit stop for these guys, I think, will get us home. They go 2 by 2, and now the racing starts to mean something. Now track position is important. Now you don't want to be stuck too far back and have to work your way through, because 65 laps can go by in a hurry when you're running lap times of 26 seconds. Out in front is the number 40 machine. He's been out there a lot. He likes the fresh air. Hope he doesn't have hay fever, because he's got a lot of pollen in his nostrils. It's Jimmy Mullis out in front. Second position is Zach Waddett. Running in third is the Lone Granger in that number 8 machine. Then it's a little far back to Ryan Doucette, Cordell Cologne in that car that's been banged up from all angles, and then Trevor Vorosky in 6th. Vorosky high up into the wall. He saves it. He's going to give up a couple positions to lap cars.
And Doucette at the moment having a good look at Tad Granger on the high side, wanting to get that position from him. He makes an attacking move once again. Now he ducks to the inside. The number 8 car sees him coming, stays high, allows him to get position and make the pass. That's a good move from Ryan Doucette right there.
Let's give you an interval from Doucette to second place, Zach Guadet. A lot of ETTs in my life. Guadet, the interval is 0.7 seconds. But it's going to be hard.
Tad Granger coming back again at the 77 and trying to retake the third position. They go side by side down the backstretch, and Tad Granger manages to hug the inside line, and the 77 will have none of it.
Guadet comes across the nose of Granger, kind of closes the door on the exit of 4. Those boys have got to stop that nonsense if they have any hope. Oh, and Guadet is loose in front of them. Well, I was going to say there was going to no way for Doucette to catch Guadet if they kept fooling around, unless Guadet gets loose. Guadet now falls back.
Well, he's making a comeback once again. He's got the 10 and the 50 car all around him. He was sitting pretty in the second place, and now he's got to fight off a few perhaps slower cars who don't look that slow at the moment.
Position. This is for position, and boys, remember, that's a car that just got loose 1 lap earlier. So now it's Guadet out in front, Vorosky in the 10 machine on the inside, and that 50 machine that has been banged on like a high school homecoming is doing great, still running great in 6th position.
Yes, and making a good fist of it as well. Look at that's Trevor Vorosky just in front of him, and Cordell Colon is pushing hard. And the 10 machine hits the wall, comes down on the 50, and there we will have another yellow flag, will we?
He's backwards, no yellow. And that 50 takes another beating. Start calling that car Timex, because it takes a beating but keeps on ticking. My gosh. We're going to do a quick replay on the 50 machine. That is my new favorite driver.
Hit the wall pretty hard, Bill, and then just came down on the car on the inside there.
Oh, Cordell's bringing it in. I think maybe the car has given up the ghost.
Well, we go back live, and let's go back to the front here and see what is happening. Jimmy Mullis now with a very, very good lead of something like 1.2 seconds over Ryan Doucette. And Ryan is just circulating at the moment, just keeping it clean. Tad Granger a further 2 seconds back from the leader, so he's about another 1 second back, 1.3 in fact, back from the second place. So Zach Godet, who had his moments, he's back up to 4th place again. And Alex Skinner with the car that we said was had the panties down or something, that car is still out there circulating and finds himself in 5th place though.
Cordell Cologne is steaming in the pits. Don't know what he had to say, but he said it with it cranked up to 11.
Yeah, well, he did not expect or deserve what happened there. Someone hit the wall, came down on him, and basically ruined his day, if it wasn't already ruined.
Now, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Mullis out in front here. There's a director talking in my ear. Here comes Doucette, and sure enough, he is running down the leader. He is closing. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's all just happened in the last few laps. It's as if Ryan has said, okay, time to go. Still many laps to go, but perhaps he's working his way towards the next pit stop. He wants to be right there when the
Doucette
pit stop. And
closing the gap. Oh my goodness, he runs by him, and there's your new leader, Ryan Doucette. Makes short work of Jimmy Mullis.
Yeah, Mullis seemed to let him go there, Bill. And now let's see if Tad Granger, who is in third place, can do the same. Perhaps he felt that he just wants to follow for a little while, Mullis.
Our director says I think Jimmy Mullis just may want to have a little fun racing. But yeah, maybe just want to have some fun. Another thing is I don't know the pit windows because we didn't really have that many green flag runs to get an idea of how far they can go. Maybe, and I give that with a big capital M, maybe he wanted to let him go by to save a little fuel.
So, well, now he's certainly hanging on to him. Doesn't look as if he's falling back at all. So certainly was nothing wrong with his car. I think that our director may have hit the nail on the head there. He let him go by and said, okay, let's see what you got, my friend.
His last stop was on lap number 98. Can you go with 50% fuel? Can you go, that would be 98,
No.
That's 68 laps. Can you go 34
No.
laps on a run? Probably not.
I said no.
Pay attention to your microphone, mate. Soup. No is the answer. So,
No, you can't go 60 laps.
well, no, I'm
even
not
with a
thinking.
full
No, I'm not thinking 60, but I'm thinking, can you go half of the? Can you go 34?
Very sketchy. Very
See,
sketchy.
that's-
Possible.
They're 18 in this lap, so we're going to see the halfway mark from 98 to 66. That's. I'm going to do the math right in front of you guys. That's 68 laps, so that's 34 laps. 34 from 98 means they got to go to lap 132.
It'll be very, very close on fuel. I still think the answer is no.
50 laps remaining. Well, that's not going to help me now.
All right. Well, let's have a good look here. So Mullis back in first place. Had a little bit of a look at Ryan Doucette. Let him pass, I believe, or might have made a small mistake. We can't tell, but certainly. Then he followed Mullis for a few, Doucette, for a few laps, and then took the position once again. And now it's
Yep, now he-
reverse.
Yeah, Mullis took it back. Yeah. And Skinner has passed Ferrosky. And let's look at Doucette. He is actually being run down. The Lone Granger is on his horse.
Lone Granger comes into pit lane. Yeah, he's making
Granger
his pit
coming in.
stop.
This is on-
118, so he'll need to stop again, Bill.
With 48 to go.
Oh, yes, he'll need.
And we're hearing that was, well, I'm seeing if sure enough, he came in on that same spot. He came in the exact same spot, lap 98. So there you have it. Unless he's just decided to come in at the first available opportunity, but we'll see. It could be right in the pit window here.
He
Yeah,
will definitely have to pit again, Bill. You can't go 120, 166, so 47 laps. You can't get 47
Yeah,
laps
well,
on
that was-
50% fuel.
That was Granger only went 21, so they can't even go the distance from here, so we'll see. Nope. Yeah, here comes Doucette. Boy, he locks it up coming down in, so Doucette's coming in.
Yeah, it might be a tire situation. I think the director who is whispering in our ear here might have a good point there. Tires are the thing, not so much the fuel. Because this track does eat up tires, and you know, when I was racing oval, I used to race the truck a lot on this track, and that is only good for 20, 25 laps on the tires, and then you're really struggling after that. But these cars are a lot faster, and one would imagine that they would chew up the tires even more.
Well, what I want to go to now, let's go to Tad Granger. Now, the number 8 machine currently listed, I guess, in third position here. Notice that he is now out in front He's just out in front of Gaudet, running just in front of him for position.
That is correct. He's
And-
actually in second place right now. Zach Gaudet is in third place. But up ahead of him, there's a trio of cars. A couple of them, of course, will be lapped cars, if not all three. And they're all over the place. This could be dangerous. This could be dangerous.
Yep.
Dear, oh dear. Tad
Oh.
Granger straight away went to the infield and he got a bit loose on the infield, but managed to save the car and got back on there. So we'll get that on replay, but the caution flag is back out again.
That's Cordell Cologne in the 50. He was able to bring that machine out again. And look how he keeps the car straight up and down. Maybe that car will still run. I'm going to buy one of those. What is that, a Ford or a Chevy? Which one? Whatever you're driving. I have no idea. It could be a Yugo for all I know, because all the emblems have been knocked off the thing.
Well, we'll have to look at the front because there's certainly no back on this car.
There's no front, there's no back. The doors are banged in. If you've ever seen, if you ever saw Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, it looks like a lot like the car that John Candy and Steve Martin were driving after the fire.
Well, I have no idea what make of car that is. You're quite correct. There's no front. There's no back. Car number 50. Unbelievable. Look at the where's the engine? I don't even see an engine in that car.
Oh my goodness. All right, we're going to take a short break. The yellow flag's going to come out. They're going to take their pit stops. They're going to line up. We're going to have a 40-lap sprint to the finish. Back in just a few. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of the We Stand United Round 13 from Charlotte. And the cars are getting the wave around right now. Zach Wadette, Ken Moore, and all getting the wave around. Trevor Varun Borowski, Alex Skinner, Ryan Doucette, Nick Parrott. And that takes us back to our leader right now with 40 to go, and it's Jimmy Mullis.
And as soon as we get an opportunity, we would want to put the cameras onto car number 50. It was at one stage a Chevy, We don't know what it is right now, but it is the funniest looking car.
There's
There
a
we
beautiful.
go. Have a look at the front, and then we'll come back and have a look at the rear end of the car. There's no back, there's no front on this car, and yet this car is still circulating. It's a miracle, Bill.
That's Cordell Cologne. Got a little frustrated in the pits. Turned our friend there, Dawson Brock, around in the pits. Don't know what Dawson did. He was just out there trying to run around, pick up a few spots. Dawson currently running in 13th position. Another 16 laps. We'll have one more picked up. The pace car is in. We are on lap 127. When the number 40 machine crosses the start-finish line right now, there'll be 39 to go. We believe there's still one more pit stop to be made.
Nope. I was just about to say they're not even going to make it to the start-finish line. Another caution flag's out.
We have another, as they accordioned up into each other, the 18 got turned of Ken Morin.
He got slammed from the rear on this restart.
It was just kind of got checked up. Vorosky got into the back of him. That wasn't Vorosky's fault. The line didn't go.
Bill, I beg to differ on that one. If the line doesn't go, you slow up. That's what brakes are for.
Well, that started. What's interesting is the 18. Yeah, boy, it's hard to see. Yeah, maybe so. Look one more time.
If you look from...
They're waiting, and then the car in front of the 18 doesn't go. He bumps into him, yeah. He bounced off the car in front and then got picked up by Vorosky. So, we'll stay here, though. This could be a short one. With 37 to go, your leader has come in. We're thinking that maybe this is in the window to go the distance. We'll see a bit, but nobody else came in with him.
36 laps. It is barely possible. He might have to save a little bit of fuel, but I think that is a possibility, Bill.
Well, if you watched, I don't want to give away anything. I don't want to give away any spoilers here because it's the same day. But if you watch the Indy 500, this could be a good strategy. Maybe Mullis watched the 500 and said, "I know how to win these races." Be the last car to pit.
Whatever the case may be, our new leader is Tad Granger, and I think this may be the first time he's actually leading a lap in this race. Ryan Doucette now sits in second place. Jimmy Mullis is in third place. Trevor Vorosky has gone into the pits. Ryan Doucette now goes into the pits as well. So that kind of messes up my lineup there. So Alex Skinner will now move forward. Zach Godet he's still out there. Vorosky is still out there. Joshua Wolf is back in the pits again. So let's just wait until they all get back behind the pace car and then we can call it better.
A lot of guys have come back. Nick Parrott has rejoined. He's 72 laps down. Robert Cartwright back out there right now.
I think the 77 Bill saw what the other car did, and he's decided to jump in as well and get some fuel and tires. So 131 to, 166. So that's 35 laps to go. Very possible if you just light on the fuel on the loud pedal there.
Yeah, and even if they can't go the distance all the way on green, if there's probably a good possibility that a yellow flag will come out, or that the race will finish under yellow and they'll be able just to nurse it around those last 4 or 5 laps. So maybe they don't have to go 36 on green. Maybe they only have to go 34 on green. We will find out.
Yeah, well, this is the sort of gamble that you must take if you want to win a race. And sometimes it pans out, and sometimes it doesn't. The 77 comes back into the pits. What's going on there?
Well, he's going to come in and top off, I think. I mean, might as well. You want to be... I think they're all coming in. Vorosky's coming in. Everybody's coming in to top off.
So you go around one lap and then come back in. Well, that's either pretty smart maneuver there, because you're not going to get much fuel. You get more tires.
Yeah, maybe he made a mistake, but even if he did come in, he's still getting that last little drops. And
Yeah.
Lord knows, a half a lap, maybe that's what he needs.
Maybe, but I tend to think he made a mistake and had to come back in again.
But there's only 6 cars on the lead lap, so at worst, I don't think he lost any positions. Of course, I guess because he'll get to come all the way up. We only have 6 cars: Granger, Mullis, Skinner, Wadet, Borowski, Doucette. Those are the only cars that really have a shot at this thing. Ken Moore in 1 lap down. We talked about Howlin' Wolf being 4 laps down. Well, now he's only 2 laps down, running in 8th.
Well, you're right. I mean, he gets to pass all the lap cars, so he'll be in his rightful position, Ryan Doucette, which will put him in 4th place.
Because as we speak, Zach Wadet has now come in. See? Yeah. These guys are just coming in. If we're going to go one more lap, they're just coming into the last possible minute to get new tires.
Well, the lights are out on the pace car, and let's set the scene. Tad Granger now leads the race. Jimmy Mullis is on his outside. Trevor Vavrovsky is in 3rd place on the inside there, and next to him on the outside is Ryan Doucette. Then behind them we've got Zach Gaudet and Alex Skinner, and then behind them, Bill, the lap cars, which we will not mention at this point. We'll get back to them a little later.
Dawson Brock trying to tell people how to get around. Trevor Borowski says thank you. Dawson trying to stay out of the way.
Ready for the restart.
Tad Granger takes him across the start-finish line, and we have 34 to go from here. Granger out in front. The 40 of Jimmy Mullis tucks in behind. They single file behind that. Borowski in 10th. Going on the high side is Doucette. Doucette with fresh rubber, a full tank of fuel, and a pack of cigarettes, ready to go. Tad Granger up there in the 8th position, or in number 8 machine, still out in front. Here comes, go ahead.
I was just going to say that here comes Ryan Doucette on the inside there. He is very, very anxious to get to the front there. Already we see now that, and we have another yellow flag. What has happened?
The number 3 of Nick Parrott.
Yeah, it's not too surprising, Bill. There are a lot of damaged cars here that really, under any other circumstances, would have been out of the race by now.
Self spin, nobody got him. Tad Granger says, well, it's been a long night, guys. Now let's see what these guys do. Now we'll know if fuel was an issue if these guys decide to come in again.
I don't think it'll be an issue now, honestly, because after another 4 laps or 4 pace laps, that's going to bring them down to something like 30 laps to go.
Well, that's the wave around. Or my goodness, could it be for Joshua Wolf? Could he get the wave around? Maybe he gets it. The lucky dog will put him 1 lap down.
Tad Granger faking it. I knew he was faking. I thought that Granger was faking it. He's done his pit stop. He's going to gamble that he can go to the end, and I believe they should all be able to go to the end now with 30 to 32 laps to go. They haven't used much fuel since the last stop at all.
Okay, coming in is Gaudet. Borowski going to come in. They're going to come in and get that couple extra laps of fresh rubber. Mullis coming in. I think Mullis doesn't care if he starts 1st or 6th. Just give me the newest rubber I can have.
Doucette and Granger have stayed out. So now we'll see what happens here. These guys might elect to come in based on what the other guys have done, but that's going to set them behind them. So do you gamble and carry on where you are or not? It becomes very interesting when it gets down to a few laps to go, Bill.
Mullis comes out in third. I mean, so he's going to start inside of row 2. That's not going to be killer for him. Skinner in 4th. Wadet in 5th. Looks like, let's see if we can find the last car on the lead lap.
Vavrovsky.
Looks like Vavrovsky. There we go.
Everyone else from Joshua or Wolf down or laps down. Oh, Doucette heading in, Bill.
And just an update, Joshua Wolf now 1 lap down. You're going to get there, baby. And Wolf coming in right now to get some fresh rubber. A lot of the back markers coming in.
Significantly, Granger stays out.
Dawson Brock coming in.
So you never know. You never
Granger
know,
out,
Bill.
Granger out front. Mullison 2nd. Skinner in 3rd. Wadet in 4th. Vorosky in 5th.
And Doucette will catch up and he'll be in 6th place.
So again, those are the 6 cars. They've been the 6 cars on the lead lap, but if we get one more yellow, the pack's going to be happy because the Wolf is going to get back on the lead lap.
And not only that, that'll play right into the hands of Tad Granger. He won't have to come in and take another stop. Mind you, even if he does, and look at this, Bill. Here comes Doucette once again into the pits. So he's made about 4 pit stops since the 2 yellows that we've had just recently.
You know, well, you pay the pit crew by the race, not by the pit stop, so you might as well get your money's worth.
He's taking tires once again. This is second set of tires in 2 laps, and these were pace laps.
Well, again, they're free in iRacing.
If I were the team boss, I'd be complaining. You know, who's paying for these tires? Bill, have a look at the car in front of Doucette there. I mean, how is that car still running? I'm just echoing what our director is saying because, of course, the viewers can't hear the director.
Just, I love that guy. My new favorite driver, the number 50.
Hold on.
All right, the lights are off, so that means Doucette cannot come into the pit again. Bad news for Goodyear. And they take it to the green. Granger with a great jump on the outside. 27 laps to go. Tad, the lone Granger, leads them down into the first corner. He is being pestered by Zach Wadet.
Oh! There we had a car hitting the wall very hard, and in front of them another accident as
Dawson
well.
Brock has spun, Vorosky has spun, and the yellow is out.
2 separate incidents, Bill, and both incidents completely apart from each other, and that's brought out another yellow. So everyone now has enough fuel, enough tires. For goodness sake, Ryan, do not come in for more tires.
Vorosky got tagged, though. He got tagged by the 77. That's the one we want to look at.
That brought out the yellow, and then there was an accident in front of him just after that as well.
No, I think it started with the 10, Director Vorosky. And he got up into, which car Vorosky got into? Dawson Brock. See, I saw Dawson Brock slow. That was all part of the same incident. And now we're looking at it. It looks like netcode. And then also being collected was Cartwright got involved in that machine, that incident. Joshua Wolf also. Oh, Joshua, that was your chance to get the lucky dog. Maybe you'll still get it since you didn't start the incident. This race is limping to a conclusion.
And Dawson Brock, of course, during the course of that incident, a lot of smoke came out of his car, so that's not good.
He's got to stay out there. He only has another 5 laps to go to pick up 12th position on Dakota Bowman. After that, Dawson, you can put it away because you're not going to get up to the car that's 19 laps down of Travis Henderson. Henderson family and friends, you can call it a night. Your position is safe.
But at the same time, with that much damage, when you get smoke, as you said earlier in the race, that is a long pit stop. And certainly every single driver in this race has used up all the luck they're going to get for a single race.
All right. We're looking to see now. There are cars ahead of the leader. See if we can pick up the leader. It is Zach Wadet. Our director thinks this race is Mullis's to lose, and that possibly could be right. Granger still out there running in second, going to be on the outside of row 2.
Well, Bill, I'm having a look at Mullis's car. It is pristine. There is not a scratch on it from where I can see. It might be on the side panels, but can't see the side panels from where I am right now. Let me see if I can go to one of the TV shots. Yes, he's got some damage on the left side. Right side looks okay.
Yeah. Skinner is missing the front, missing most of his nose up front. Oh, that's the
no.
That's the Knickers car running in 4th position.
He's got Mullis has got minimal damage, a little bit of damage on the left side. Right side's okay, but behind him we've got a car that is certainly not having no problem sucking in air.
Let's go to let's put the camera on car number 15. Joshua Wolf currently running in 7th position. On the lead lap is going to get the wave around, baby. You did it.
Well, now this race is certainly getting to the closing stages. Lap 143 of 166, so that's 21 laps. And it'll be 20 laps, so this becomes now a race, a dash for the cash. And let's see what these guys can do. It's going to be all over in about 10 minutes. And they're going, Bill. Away they go. Who is that charging away there? That's Zach Gaudet in first place there. Now the pace car's still out there. These guys are getting the wave around.
Yeah, that was the wave around there.
I got excited. I thought it was starting.
I was ready to reboot the system because I was still showing the pace car. All right.
Well,
okay.
The pace car lights are off. Zach Gaudet will be starting the field off in this, what we think may well be the last restart. 20 laps to go. Come on, guys, you can go 20 laps without another yellow.
Richard, I'll bet you a fried kangaroo burger with cheese that we finish this thing under green. We're gonna do this here. We're gonna look. The lights are off the pace car. The wave arounds have been done.
Go green.
I think we're gonna go green. Have the wave arounds caught up to the back? We're gonna see the pace car.
If they catch up or not does not matter.
The pace car is in. Sorry, wave arounds. Get a move on. Well, that means you're going to get up to him at full speed. I watch Days of Thunder. I know how this works. Zach Gaudet crosses the start-finish line. It's the double deuce, 22 laps to go. Let's see if we can catch some good luck.
And the number 40 car passes Tad Granger. That is Jimmy Mullis, and he now assumes position number 2 behind Gaudet. And our director feels that the best chance of winning this race goes to Jimmy Mullis. And he's certainly looking...
Oh, he turns them! He turns them, they're both spinning! They're both spinning, they're backwards. Will it bring out the yellow? Yes, it does! They got it going straight. Mullis was behind him. He turned him.
He got into the back of him, but he's got no damage, Bill, from that incident. No damage whatsoever from that incident.
have to be kind because Mullis's daughter could be watching. Our director saying, no, it's not Mullis. What are you saying, director? What are you seeing? Oh, he got, okay. All right, Jimmy, we're letting you off the hook thanks to Jason Fleischle. I'm looking at it now. And maybe he got loose. Yep. Let's say Gaudet got a little bit loose. We're looking at it right there. You're looking at it right there. Oh. I don't think anybody hit anything, though. I think Gaudet got out of that okay, too. Come on, boys. I want my fried kangaroo burger. Let's get this thing going.
I'm not going to agree with both of you. I think that Mullis is at fault on that one.
Okay.
But who am I? I'm just the race caller.
No, that's
It'll
good.
be up to the officials to make the decision on that one.
Well, no harm, no foul. There's no damage, so let's move back there.
And it saved some fuel, didn't it? So maybe it's a good thing.
Joshua Wolf decides to come in now because he got that wave around. He's going to come in, get some fresh rubber, get in the hunt, maybe find himself a top 5. Our director is out of beverage. And it's, let me give you a, go ahead.
Well, I want to talk racing, and you guys are talking beer.
No, let's. I wasn't talking. I was a beverage. I didn't say anything. Go ahead.
All right. Ted Granger leading. Alex Skinner. Remember I said about lap 20 or something that Alex Skinner will be there at the end? Well, at the moment he is. I don't think he's got a very fast car, and he's probably not going to try and win this race, but certainly he's up there at the moment. Jimmy Mullis will assume 3rd place. Gaudet's in there. Joshua Wolf in 5th place, Bill. That's been your favorite. And Trevor Vavrovsky in 6th place. Then we've got a few others there. Cordell Colon with that much damaged car is still in the race. He's going to finish this race. That car is indestructible, Bill.
And I am so depressed because Dawson Brock had the car up to 13th position, was real close to moving up to 12th to get around Dakota Dawson, but Brock has called it a day, and to make matters worse, he's been passed by Robert Cartwright. So now, Dawson, you're going the wrong direction. Okay, looking at the pace car and waiting to see the lights are still on, so we're going to go around one more time. 18 to go.
And Ted Granger looking for it. Will this be his first win, perhaps? I don't know the series. But certainly Ted Granger out in front with a possibility of a win. This race might well finish under yellow. Who knows, Bill?
All the lead laps cars stay out. Joshua Wolf is the last. He's running in 6th position. Last car on the lead lap. He just pulled out of the pits. He's got the freshest rubber of all of them. It's going to be a sprint. Let's go ahead and see here. Ryan Doucette now has fallen a lap behind. He's going to need one more yellow to get up into the lead lap and a chance to win this thing, as he could certainly do it.
And Bill, the last 3 cars have no aerodynamics at the back whatsoever. There's no back. So
well, your leader Alex Skinner has no grill. He has got no aerodynamics in the front. On the outside, Tad Granger. I'm going to think Granger's got a good shot at beating Skinner to the first corner because Skinner's going to be pushing air. Mullis has got to be careful in the 40 car behind the number. Watch out for the car on the inside. Alex Skinner, because that car's going to go nowhere. Let's go on board with the number 40 car right now because Skinner's not going to go anywhere. Let's watch Mullis on the inside of row 2. Skinner brings him to the front. He gets that car moving pretty good. The 8 machine gets a push on the outside from the 18 of Zachary Gaudet. And as we expected, that inside car of Skinner goes nowhere. Mullis decides to move to the outside. You saw him go to the outside. Now he's 3rd in line. Skinner dropping like a pigeon. Now moving to the inside. Mullis dives to the inside of Gaudet. Mullis moves into 2nd. Granger ducks to the inside to block Mullis' progress. Mullis turns another one.
Mullis does it again. I'm sorry, guys. I am not impressed by that driving at all.
And to make matters worse, that is the series organizer. If I've learned anything, you don't turn the series organizer.
Yeah, I have to say that is really suspect driving on the part of Mullis. He did it once earlier on. That may well have been an accident. You're not going to call him, a foul driver, but certainly doing it the second time kind of smacks of being really desperate or just not thinking properly.
Now I'm sitting up here at the press block. This is my angle. So, they pay us to announce the race, not to be race stewards. So we're just going to call them as we see them. You could easily, I've done enough IRT work that there's always two sides of the story. But at first glance, it didn't look pretty from the car behind.
Well, that's true. And you're quite correct. We have no say in who's at fault. That is for the organizers and indeed the IRT, the race marshals to decide. But as you say, that did not look pretty. And I am sitting here looking at that first time. I would say you get benefit of the doubt. Second time, you need to be more careful. Third time, it's a disease, Bill. So we certainly.
It's kind of what's the saying? First time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me. I thought, like, second time, and you're out of here. All right, I tell you who did like that spin. I tell you who liked it, and that's Ryan Doucette. Why? Because he was in the one lap down. He got the lucky dog, and now he joins the lead lap. Your lead lap.
Now,
go ahead.
What I would like to see, Bill, is what will be on track Tad Granger's response to this on the track. Because he is still in there. He's in fourth place. He'll be right behind Mullis on the restart. So let's see the fireworks.
Well, we thought he'd be on the... Mullis is coming in for a rubber. So Mullis comes in, he'll probably be at the back. Which, based on what I've seen in the last couple laps, I would not want him behind me.
Exactly. But the race is coming to a close,
Jimmy.
And it has not been a pretty race. I think we're safe in saying that, Bill. But having said that, it has been a fun race. It's been an interesting race, hasn't it?
Jimmy, we love you, and it was all in good fun, buddy. It's not we're not curing cancer or sending people to the moon here. So I would like to point out, though, that Jimmy has had a win taken away from him already this season from a punt on the last lap. Yep, that's this series is not
fuel on the fire now, Bill.
Well, I've called the winner 3 times in this series, and when I come back the next race, they weren't the winner. So I got a hunch that may be the case here today. Let's set the stage. The lights are still on, but I'm going to do it anyway. Look who's out there. Now, it's the number 18 machine of Zach Wadet, looking for his first win. He is your points leader, but has yet to taste the victory champagne. And I sure hope they kept the cork on that thing, because it'd be flat by now. Tad Granger on the outside of row 2. Varun Varosky, outside of row 1. Varun Varosky in the third position on the inside position. Running on the outside of row 2. Welcome back to the chance to win, Joshua Howland-Wolf in the 15 machine.
12 laps to go when the restart takes place. The lights are out on the pace car. Leader is Zach Gaudet, as you've said. Tad Granger lurking there. He'll be on the outside this time on the restart. So, behind them, Trevor Vavrosky, Joshua Wolf in fourth place, Bill, and Mullis in fifth place. So Mullis is going to be in a hurry when the restart takes place. 12 laps only left in this race. So let's have the cameras on Mullis on the restart. Let's put some pressure on Mullis if he knows we are watching him.
Trevor Varosky, the good news for you is you are running in third position. The bad news is you have Jimmy Mullis right behind you. The pace car looking to come in now. We have 13 laps to go. It'll be 12 once they cross the start-finish line. It's that blue and white machine, that beautiful number 18 machine of Zach Wadet. The car looks pretty clean. The car looks pretty straight. He tries to get the rubber down. He gets the power down. They get it two, and they go 2 by 2 by 2. Wadet with a nice dive into the corner. Granger stuck on the high side, now finds a gap to dive into. Falls right in behind Wadet. Granger and Wadet. Zvorowski on the inside is being gobbled up quickly by Mullis. Mullis on the high side goes around Zvorowski. He's trying to suck the car of Blake Heather with him. Heather moves into fourth. Zvorowski falls down to fifth. Skinner with that no grill in front in sixth position. Wolf back in seventh. Last car on the lead lap. Ryan Doucette trying to make his way around some lap traffic. Up in front, it's still. They go side by side now for third. Side by side for second, it's Granger and Mullis. Mullis on the high side to have momentum. Granger trying to block him. These two know each other from a few laps before. Granger does the job. Mullis backs off, Rich.
Yes, indeed. And I thought just for a second there that we might see a repeat of the situation previously, i.e. a yellow flag coming out. But they got through that safely. Meanwhile, up front, Zach Godet has managed to pull out a gap. This is Mullis coming in. Yeah, Grain just made a mistake there. He had to go high to try and save the car. Now that gives the second position to Jimmy Mullis. Jimmy Mullis will now be looking to chase down Zach Godet if he can do that. But behind Mullis is Granger. Granger will have fresh in his memory banks the situation, but Granger nearly loses it. He's trying to save the car. He's up on the low side.
Yes, he does.
Up on the high side. He's still not there yet.
No
and
yellow.
Now he manages to get the car back under control, and he gets back racing, but he's lost all those positions that he had previously, so he's back down to sixth place right now, Bill.
That car, Granger had a hard time keeping that car down, and then it got loose. So here we go, up in front. Zach Wadet crosses the start-finish line, 8 to go. His lead is 0.6 seconds on Jimmy Mullis. Mullis trying to close the gap like David Letterman's dentist. Don't know if he's going to be able to do it. The gap is still 7 seconds, or 7/10 of a second. Mullis basically has the second place locked up as he has a 2-second lead now over Skinner. Skinner doing a great job in third place, racing a car that has no front end. Fourth position, Varun Borowski all by himself. Joshua Wolf, sure enough, has managed to get all those laps back from 4 down, has moved up into the top 5. Granger, after nearly putting the car into the inside pit wall lane, it's got it going straight again, but he's out of it. He's 6th position, and it looks like 7th position is not even in the hunt. So we'll go back up to the leader. Wadet, the distance now has been knocked off 1/10 of a second. It's down to 6.5 seconds. I think Mullis has a shot at it. Mullis has him.
6 laps to go as we cross the line. Lap 161, 5 laps to go. 6 laps to go. We have Godet out front there, managing to maintain that gap at the moment. Mullis coming with a full head of steam. Mullis trying to get right onto the rear end of Godet. At the moment, he's not there, and the car gets loose.
Mullis is loose. He's losing lots of time.
Yes,
it's still loose.
He's trying to hold the car and manages to save it. That was very close, and now he gets passed by...
That's a lapped car.
That's a lapped car, unfortunately. So Mullis still in second place. Skinner now manages to close the gap a little bit. Trevor Vavrovsky out of it at the moment. Tad Granger, where's Tad Granger? Tad Granger's a fair way back, still recovering from his mistake that he made earlier. So Mullis back in it, and Mullis now has fallen a long way back from Godet. Would you say, Bill, that Godet might have it sewn up right now?
4 laps to go, a 4-second lead, I think, is his, assuming everything goes the way it's supposed to. I think we got a chance of finishing under green. I can taste my kangaroo grilled sandwich right now. So it's Mullis in second, Skinner in third, Vorowski in fourth. No real battles to be found. After it's all said and done, I think these guys can just drive it home. Nobody within a few seconds of each other.
Yeah, that's correct. Gaudet will now, you said he was in the lead in the championship. Now he's got a win to cap it all off. It's a good night for him. These guys have had a hard night's racing. It's been very ugly in places, and with some good racing as well in places. So here we are in the closing stages now. 2 laps to go as they cross the line. Mullis I'm looking at the moment. Gaudet out front with a healthy lead now. He can't possibly lose it. Just cruise it to the finish line. Don't overcook the car. Don't push too hard, Gaudet, in case you get loose in this last couple of laps, Bill.
He works his way through 3, coming out of 4. It's been a long time getting here, but we got here. He sees the white flag. 1 lap to go. So there it is. The last lap shows up on timing and scoring. Zach Wadet. It took him 12 tries to do it. On his 13th, he finally got it done. Finally has a number in the column for wins that isn't crooked. Zach Wadet's going to win round 3 of the We Stand United.
And Bill, we should make mention. Go ahead. Finish.
Go ahead. No, that's fine. Jimmy Mullis in 2nd. Skinner gets 3rd position. Borowski comes across in 4th. Granger gets 5th. He got around Joshua Wolf. No top 5 for the Wolfman in 6th position. Last car on the lead lap. Mr. Excitement, Ryan Doucette. Boys, it's over. Richard, why don't we let's take a short break right now, and then we'll come back to do interviews, run down the entire standings, and give the spouses a kiss, and close up shop. Be back in just a few. This is the very last time I get to say these words. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel and its coverage of the We Stand United Round 13 from Michigan. Oh, from Charlotte. I should know that by now. A great race that we finally got to the end of. Let's run down the complete standings of all 21 drivers who took the grid. My goodness. The Warrior managed to get to the end, kept his car clean, and had something for the end. Zachary Gaudet wins his first race of the season and increases his points lead. Jimmy Mullis, going to finish in second. Might be called to the trailer for a little talk afterwards. Alex Skinner, my goodness, aerodynamics be darned, it doesn't matter, brought that car home on the podium position. Trevor Varun-Varosky in fourth. Tad Granger took a couple trips to the Alfalfa, runs it home in fifth. Joshua Wolf got it all the way up to fifth position. Granger nipped him for sixth, just missed the top five. Ryan Doucette in seventh. Blake Heather in eighth. Cordell Colon in ninth. Cologne 26 laps down. Still running. Ken Morin 37 laps down in 10th. Rich?
And Travis Henderson finished up in 11th place, 41 laps down. Obviously, these are drivers who retired. Robert Cartwright in 12th place, 56 laps down. Dakota Bowman in 13th place, 72 laps down. That's just about half the race. Dawson Brock, 77 laps down in 14th place. 15th place, Nick Parrott. 16th place, Brandon Christian, 113 laps down. James Mullins, who pulled into the pits and possibly exited for a reason unknown to it. Wasn't a damaged car, that's for sure. He's in 17th place. Brad Walsh in 18th place. Finian Dacuna in 19th place. Matthew Cisner, I don't know whether he actually took the grid. He's in 20th place. And Chase Sutton in 21st place. That's your last place.
Okay, we're going to quickly try to run through these interviews because I want to talk to 4 drivers today. But we're going to start with Zach Gaudet, our winner. I'm going to let Richard talk to him. Let's see if we can bring Zach in. There you go. Richard, talk to our winner, Zach Gaudet.
Certainly. Zach, do you have a copy?
Yeah, 10-4.
Zach, now I've called a lot of races over 3 years, and I want to say that this was, to put it mildly, an interesting race. How did you see it?
I saw the race kind of interesting. I thought we had more yellows than we actually needed. I'm surprised towards the second half of the race we still had as many yellows with the few little cars we had, but I'm really happy that the team got the win.
Yes, indeed. Congratulations are in order for a win. This is your first win of the series, I believe, even though you are leading the championship. So to put a number one next to it as well must be quite satisfying.
Yeah, it's super satisfying. I feel like it's kind of a long time coming. Towards the start of the season, we were pretty strong. We just didn't have the finishes I thought we deserved. It seemed like as the season progressed, we kind of lost touch with our sets, but I got to thank Alex Skinner and Finian for helping me out, building the set, working on the set during the race to set it up for that final 13-lap shootout we had.
Yeah. Well, certainly an interesting race. I want to thank you guys for putting this on. This is a great track to race at, but I have to say, from just being honest, that it was pretty ugly in places. Hey.
Yeah, we could have definitely done without a few of those yellows. I think we'll get better at it as a league. Tad Granger is a great league manager. He's always looking to improve the league. So it's something that'll be addressed, and I'm sure it won't happen down the road.
Alrighty. All right, Zach, congratulations on number 1 place. You'll be in victory lane tonight drinking some of that champagne. Any shout outs you want to give, go right ahead.
Yeah, I just got to give a shout out to Alex Skinner, Finian, Nolan Sutton, built a great team here, and Dawson Brock was kind of helping us out as well towards the end of the race, calling the lap time. So, got to give a shout out to those guys.
All right. Thank you for talking to us, Zach. Go and celebrate.
Thank you.
Back to you, Bill.
Zach Gaudet, your winner today, and now we're going to bring in a few more guys here. A lot of guys want to talk. We'll see. We're going to try to get 4 of you guys in. We're going to talk to our second place driver. We've talked to him many times. Oh, did he leave? I guess we're not going to be able to talk to Jimmy. Don't see him anymore. Looks like Jimmy has left. We're going to talk to Jimmy Mullis, but he's not there. So let's go ahead and bring Tad Granger in. Hi, Tad. I didn't see Jimmy there. I was going to bring him in, get his point of view. What happened then? Let's jump right. First of all, my gosh, you got to the end. Congratulations on the top 5. I'm just going to ask it. Did he turn you at the end?
I think it was just the racing, to be honest. You get somebody that close to you in the left rear, it kind of gets you loose, and I could have got loose. I mean, it happened to us throughout the night. I think him and Zach got together just before that, kind of same situation. So I haven't looked at it. I'll kind of stay on the neutral side and say, yeah, it could have been just a racing deal, but.
You had a couple saves. You had one save down the front straight where you were heading to the pit wall. You managed to get that thing loaded up and kept it on the track.
Yeah, I figured I'd earn a second paycheck, help mowing the lawn a little bit on the front stretch because I did that a lot tonight. But it was a tough night. It was a long night.
Yeah. Well, we're going to move through because there's a lot of guys we want to talk to. So congratulations. I don't know. I guess condolences or whatever. Congratulations on surviving. Let's put it that way.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad the Smithfield Volunteer Fire Department car made it to the end, and we're getting the hell out of here. We're done with this.
I got Tad Granger. I know the feeling. 5th place finish today. Rich, we want to see if we can bring in. I'm going to talk to this next one here. I've been wanting to get it. Let's see if he's there. Oh, there's Jimmy. Let's have you talk to Jimmy Mullis, Rich, our 2nd place finisher.
All right, let's bring Jimmy Mullis into the booth. Where is he? There he is. Jimmy, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Jimmy, 2nd place finish today. Could have been a win. Could have been last place. It was quite an interesting race, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed with the way that went. After leading, the most laps, 98 laps to be exact, and then to have it just taken out of my hands over just a couple mistakes by other people in front of me. I mean, not really much you can do, but 53 caution laps, that's a little excessive.
It certainly is, and from where we sat in the booth, it seemed as if some of it was unnecessary. Particularly, we had something like 4 cautions in the first 20 laps, so that was the ugly part of the race. But there was some really good racing. Tell me, there were 2 incidents involving yourself in the last 10 laps of the race there, and how did you see those 2 incidents where you got into the back of Tad Granger and another driver before that?
The one where I got into Zach, we came off of 4 and I had a run, got to his bumper, and it looked like the rear end came out from under him, and we just both went through the infield. And then with Tad, I was side by side with Zach, I believe, and I saw Tad start coming down the track, and when I tried to check up, he was already, we were already making contact, so.
So a racing incident as far as you're concerned. That's okay. Well, 2nd place, you've got a fairly good standing in the championship as well. So I know you say you're a little unhappy, but overall, if you sit back and look at the night, you've got some positives to take away from it.
Well, I mean, I guess you can look at it that way, but the way I'm looking at it, when we can't go green every week, it seems like we have, there's a couple of runs here and there, but it's consistently happening, so I don't really know if I'm going to be running again or not, or what's really going to happen, but it was fun running while I did, I guess.
All right. Okay. Congratulations on your 2nd place. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to, and we'll let you go?
Nobody but my teammates, Torque Racing. Ken Moore and Ryan Doucette, those were the 2 from the team that, run with me in there. But yeah, thank you guys for, doing what you do in here. And if you guys don't see me the rest of this year, thank you anyways for everything.
Well, you're always fun to watch race. Jimmy Mullis, our 2nd place driver today, clearly discouraged, worn out after that one. I think Jimmy needs a good night's sleep before he makes any final decisions on his future. We're going to bring in one more guy. Here's a guy who should have a good attitude. This guy I've been looking to interview for a long time, and I thought he was great today. We're going to talk to Dawson Brock. Dawson, do you have a copy?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Hey, man, nice job. I was a little disappointed. You got the car up to 13th position. I thought you had a chance for 12th, and then you just couldn't bring it home at the end, huh? Something happened to you, finally couldn't get it done?
Yeah. Well, when we got into that wreck, I forgot what lap that was on, but that was with me and Trevor, that net code, and well, we blew the engine, so I was like, well, looks like we're not going to get that, 5 laps away from that, but yeah, that's pointless racing.
And then to make matters worse, Robert Cartwright came up and snaked you there at the end. You were ahead of him as he was trying to do the same thing. He ended up with 12th. Yeah.
Dang, I didn't even see that. I just kind of... wow.
It was fun to watch you work the traffic. There were some cars out there. If you get a chance on the replay, you got to look at them. You probably went by if you... Cologne had no front, no back, no side to his car out there at all. It was like he was driving a modified. Hey, let me ask you the question I've been asking all year. I need your favorite Disney princess. What's it going to be?
Oh God. Jeepers. Well, let's see.
Have you not watched these interviews? I asked this question.
I have, and I thought about it, but then I was kind of like, I never really thought of it again. Some people said, that Frozen or whatever, Cinderella, somewhere in there, but Sleeping Beauty. Let's just go with that.
Sleeping Beauty is good. All right, we're taking a poll. I will have a grid next week. Jason Fleischley's going to make one up. We'll put it up during one of the yellow flags on our favorite Disney princess. Thank you, Dawson, and good luck. We hope to see you next race. I had a good time watching you.
I'll be there. That's for sure.
All right, buddy. All right, Richard.
Later.
We're going to kick Dawson out of here. That's going to wrap it up for us. You've had way too long a day. I'm going to release you right now. You don't need to stay for these closing credits. They're always the same. I'll be surprised if my director is still with me. Here we go. Remember now, rest of you guys don't need to pay attention to this because this is the people that make this thing work. We need to thank all these people makes it possible. We'd like to thank We Stand United for organizing the series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. Hey, thanks to the company and equipment and software that you see on the screen right now that we use on the broadcast. The original music that you heard on the broadcast, well, that's Eric Eckelman, Casey Lalonde. Go to the screen to see how to contact them and download some of their digital music. Thanks to my mic mate, Richard, our director, Jason Fleischley, Dougie Beard for the camera location, for all the drivers here. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, your best bet is GlobalSimRacingChannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSRC Channel and Facebook at Global Sim Racing Channel. The next race for the We Stand United League is next week at Pocono for the 5-hour Energy 250. But GSRC is not going to be able to cover that. But we will be back. GSRC will be back to pick up the coverage again the following week, June 12th, for the Quicken Loans 150 from Michigan. For details about all the upcoming races, go to GlobalSimRacingChannel.com. And now that the housekeeping is out of the way, it's finally time for us, if we have the energy, to go have fun storming the castle. So until next time, race hard. This one is important. Race clean. That one's the one you got to remember. And we'll see you on the track.